Good morning. I'm Rick Dancer. How are you this morning? It is Thursday. Welcome to my on the way to work chat with Rick. I don't know what else to call it, but that sounds good to me. Let's see what I can do here. Explore again. I think I can just pass this along. Ba-bom, 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 ba-bom. Well, I'm just writing you or coming into your little room here, your life, to tell you kind of what's going on today. Our show's going to be a little bit late today. I'm going to be at 1 o'clock. I've got a young man. Jedediah. That is the greatest name. I would like to be Jedediah Dancer. I think that would be such a cool name. That's a great name. So anyway, today at 1, I have a young man who's coming on, and he's paying for the show. He's going to be in the Out of the Darkness walk coming up on the 30th of September. It's a walk to bring awareness to the issue of suicide in our communities. And according to the latest statistics from the state of Oregon, Lane County, where we live, is the number of people who kill themselves with suicide, die by suicide, is 50% higher than the national average. 50% higher than the national average. People in our county are taking their own lives. So we kind of have a problem, a slight problem. And so there's this walk on the 30th to bring awareness to this. This young man is 15 years old. So not only has he come up with the sponsorship to pay me to do the show, which I think is really responsible of a 15-year-old. I have nonprofits that go, oh, we don't have the money. And this kid goes out and finds the money because he wants to get people's attention to this issue, which I just find that profound. So I'm going to meet him in his high school. Now, we have to do it in a back room. We can't do it out in front public. You know, suicide is a very tenuous issue for many school districts, and they're nervous about it. So they all want to be real careful with it. I think we should stop being careful with it, actually, and start talking about it openly so that it's obviously a reality in our world and in our county. And so if, you know, I think by not talking about it, they used to think if you talk about it, more kids will do it. I think that's bullshit. I think you got to talk about it so kids understand this is not an option. This is not an option because it's final. I think they don't really know that it is. So anyway, at 1 o'clock, he's going to come on and talk about his reasons for being involved with this, why it's so important. Actually, I'll just tell you, he's lost 2 friends to suicide. And so it's an important issue for this young man. And so he's 15 years old, and he's bucking up and gonna man up and have his own show. So I think that's pretty darn cool. So that's coming up today. Anyway, so I wanted to let you know. Also, thank you to those people. I kind of threw something on there last night. I had to block a couple people off my page because they were being assholes. And I've never used to do that. I used to be kind of proud of the fact that I'd let people stay on even when they were kind of jerks. But I'm kind of done with that. If somebody's going to come on and be a total jerk and not listen, and just, you know, and there's people that just want to be haters. And if people want to come on and just be haters, I'm just going to block them. And it's not a warning. You know, I don't do those. I'm not one of those people that says, I'm going to warn you, you know. But if you act like a jerk, I'm just going to block them. Because I think we have to start setting a standard. You know, people that come on and act hateful should be ashamed of themselves. And we don't have shame in our culture anymore. We've taken it out because we think it's bad. I think shame is not a bad thing. You know, if when I was a kid, I didn't get in trouble. I tried not to get in trouble because I didn't want to shame my parents, even though I didn't get along with them all the time. And I was still a pain in the butt, but I still didn't want to bring shame to them. And I don't think that's a bad thing all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, there's bad kinds of shame, but I think sometimes, you know, when you act like a jerk, you should be ashamed of yourself. And when you hate things, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think when people come on my page and they act that way. This one guy, I finally called him out because I figured out who he was, and I was like, man, I remember when you used to be a really nice guy. What happened? Did you hit your head on a rock? You know, I don't understand, and maybe that's my naivety, and I hope I always have that. I hope I'm always naive enough to think that people really can be good, and that people, and you know what? They'll never steal that from me, because no matter how many jerks there are, how many people that hate, I always know there are certain people that will never do that. And even if they totally disagree with you, some of you are on here right now, I know that you would never do that. And so I remember that, you know, and when I'm in the middle of one of those discussions, and I get sucked into them just like we all do, and I should just shut up and get out of it. And so I'm going to try to do that more often. But I hate when people come on my page and try to use it to further their agenda. I am so tired of agendas, aren't you? I just want the truth. I'm tired of people trying to work me to get me to buy into their cause. Allie House, you are one of the people I'm talking about who's awesome. Allie she and I, we probably politically have some differences and stuff, but here's the thing. And here's the thing about Allie and me. Our history goes way back. I've known her for a lot of years. And we have different lives, like all of us do, but I just totally respect her. I'll talk to you. I respect you because you would stick, even if you disagreed with me, you would stick up for me publicly. And then you'd tell me privately, okay, Rick, this is where you need to, you know, where you might not be right on base. That's how I learn. I think that's how most of us learn in relationship. And so I use you as kind of a barometer for what I'm talking about and stuff. So, and it's not like we hang out or we hung out together or something. It's like in life, I think you find people that your spirit just meshes to, you know? I mean, you just know they're for you or you're for them, or you would do stuff like that. And when you write stuff, so anyway, that's just how it works. And you don't have to be like hanging out with people to know that about them. But you do have to support them. And then I also go, okay, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, so how do I be careful of that? It's how we all learn, and thanks. I try to be respectful. You are 100% respectful. But let me just tell you another thing. She's also got guts. And if I crossed a line, I know, not publicly, but she would come on and give me a pop on my messenger, which is the proper thing to do. You don't take people to tasks or start trying to point out people look for your soft spot and then they try to attack you with that. It's so hard to stay out of it all. You want to say things, you wonder where it all goes all the time. Yeah, I sometimes wonder, I mean, because it's the very people who say you shouldn't hate are hating. And I don't want to be that. And the very people who say you're not getting enough information from various sources are not getting enough information from various sources. And then it's really easy to see things on your political side or religious side or whatever, and how it affects you from your standpoint, but you can't see it from somebody else's. And so, you know, I mean, so I think right now especially, I think we all have to be super careful. Just not that people are going to hurt us. I don't give a shit what people think of me. I mean, I just don't. I'm sorry. I had cancer. I fought cancer, and I've won that so far. And it may take me down sometime, but I'll go down kicking. And somebody not liking me because I like to make fun of my hair, if that pisses you off, get off my page. Some guy comes on and says, you put too many pictures of your face on your page. Oh, go to hell. Can if I want. It's my page, dumbass. It's like my living room. If I want to put whatever I want to put on here, I can. If you don't like it, just don't hang out here. I mean, it's that simple, really, you know? I mean, I think we all have to be kind of careful, though, just going, you know, and remembering that there's always, I think there's more than two sides to every story. There's usually like 10. And when I was a news reporter, that's what I discovered really fast. You'd go out to a story, and it wasn't always what it seemed. And I think that's the problem in our culture right now, is everybody thinks that they know exactly what's going on, and you know exactly what the people that you support want you to think is going on. And to really know differently, you have to do homework, and even then you're not always going to be right. So again, if you guys tune in today at 1 o'clock on my Get Real Rick Dancer page, because we're going to have a 15-year-old boy who purchased his own show from me, because he is going to walk in the Out of the Darkness Prevention from Suicide walk on the 30th, and he wants to tell you why that's important. 2 of his friends have taken their lives through suicide, and he's going to get real personal with it, and I think you are going to really enjoy it. These are the things that I live for. I'm not kidding. Real life, right in your face, where it can make us change. You know what I mean? So if you're tired of the garbage, you want to see a 15-year-old boy, one of our local kids, who he's put together a team of like 250 Churchill High School team people to go out and walk in this walk. You tell me what adult can do that and has the passion for that. So if you're looking for passion and you're feeling like you're lost, and I got a kid who I think can inspire you to be better. So I'm excited to bring him on the show today, and I will talk with you at 1 o'clock on my Get Real with Rick Dancer page, which is nearby. All right, so I'm gonna go to work, you guys go to work, and we'll get some stuff done today, okay? All right, see ya.